What's good, traders? So in today's video, I want to speak about why I wasn't profitable for 2 years. Now, that might not seem like a long time, but for me, those 2 years were the longest periods of my life. And the reason why, it was because I was going through losing periods after losing periods after losing periods, which most of you probably can relate to. And I'm going to explain to you the exact reasonings from why I was an unprofitable trader. Because after 2 years, on my third year, that's when I broke through and that's when I started becoming profitable. And I've been trading for 5 years now. And even on my fourth year and my fifth year that we're currently in, I have been profitable with the end of year P&L. Looking back in my journey, I feel like I made a lot of silly mistakes, a lot of rookie mistakes, and I wish I can go back and tell myself to not do those things. But unfortunately, I can't do that. So that's why I'm creating this video, so that if you are in the position that I'm in, or I was in, this video will definitely help you get you out of that position. But before we speak about the reasonings of why I was unprofitable, I have just opened up a few spaces to my 3-day masterclass. This is a masterclass where I will coach you one-on-one completely for free for the next 3 days. I will audit your trades. I will tell you exactly where you're going wrong. I'll give you feedback. And even if you are a beginner and you don't know anything about the markets, I will guide you in the right direction. And I will give you my entire system that I use to make money every single day. Not only that, you'll get 3 masterclass videos completely for free where I speak about mindset, I'll speak about my entire system that I use, and I'll speak about psychology. Those 3 videos will be sent to you completely for free, with additional of the 3 days of coaching. So if you're interested, click the first link in the description and sign up. So let's talk about like when I first started trading. So when I first started trading, I actually got influenced in the wrong way. I started with an MLM scheme and they showed me the lifestyle. They showed me the nice payout. They showed me the watches, the sunglasses, the lifestyle. We went through apartment after apartment, and it was kind of cool to see the lifestyle that these traders were having. And that's what got me steering into the market. So as a young 18-year-old, you got to think about like showing money to an 18-year-old that hasn't had money before, and you're telling them that the reason why they got that money was from trading. That whole pressure on me, bro, I was trading and I just felt like I have to make it. I have to go clear, because if these guys can do it, I can do it too. And that pressure that I had, honestly, bro, like it felt like a burden. Like you would think that that could motivate me, that can drive me, but it did the complete opposite. And I was so confused. Like, why am I waking up every single day and I'm giving myself this financial pressure, this financial burden? Like, I'm telling myself I gotta make £100 a day, £200 a day. I'm seeing all these good traders on the internet talking about they're making 1,000, 2,000 per trade. And I'm thinking I wanna be in that position. And instead of giving myself a reality check saying, yo, like, you don't have that kind of money yet, you gotta calm down, I'm thinking, I gotta make my money do that. So I'm making my money work overtime, not realizing how much of a burnout it's going to be. I'm not trading, and I'm making good money, by the way. In my first year, I made £5,000, and I thought, this is it. I've gone clear. My second year is where everything went downhill. That's when I was unprofitable. Because in my second year, I had that high ego, I had that boost of adrenaline. I said to myself, I am going to do it. I'm going to go clear. I'm going to be the richest man alive. That's exactly what I told myself. And every single time, every morning, I would wake up and I'll say, I'm the best trader. I'm great. And I put so much pressure on myself. And every time I lost, it wasn't a thing where I had the confidence. Guess what I'll do? I used to tell myself, oh man, like this might not be for me. Or like I used to put myself down all the time. And I just feel depressed. I just feel so low. And that wasn't because I was not believing in myself. It was because at the time, I wanted to reach from A to B as fast as possible. But I didn't realize that you can't do that if you have low capital. See, most people start off where I started off. I only started off with £50 or £100. And that's low capital. And at the time, funded accounts wasn't as popular as it is today. So I didn't have the funded account route. But if I did, I probably would have went through it. But the problem is I had all this burden on me, like I have to make it, I have to go clear. Every time I made a mistake, instead of me looking at where I made the mistake in, this is what I'll do. I'll change strategies. I'd go on the internet, I'll look for another teacher or another guru, and I would try and implement their strategy. But the way I would do it to make myself feel better is I will still have my original strategy. I'll still have the supply and demand, or the breakout strategy, or trend lines. And then what I'll do is I'll get this new trader and I'll implement their strategy within this strategy. So after like 6 months, I had like 10 strategies built into one, super confusing: trend lines, support and resistance, breaker structure, breakout strategy, Fibonacci levels, liquidity, fair value gaps, all these different things. And I'm overwhelming myself. I remember literally looking at my screen one time and I'm like, bro, what is going on? So this is what I started to do. I started to go into indicators. I thought, you know what? It would be much easier if I could just have an indicator to do everything for me, and all I'd have to do is just locate entries. I thought this is gonna be easy. And what I didn't realize is I keep looking for the easy route to get to somewhere where it takes people years and years and years. Again, mindset shift. I wasn't in the right mindset. I look back right now and I'm just thinking to myself right now, like, I wasted a lot of time on not backtesting, not journaling, and I keep changing strategies. Like, I wasted so much time. And I'm just thinking about it now as well, like how stupid of me to do that. And at the time, I felt like I was smart. I felt like, oh, I'm taking in all these different information. I'm taking on all this knowledge. I'm gonna be the smartest guy in the world. I'm gonna be the best trader. But that wasn't what happened. That's not the outcome. The outcome that happened was that I lost more money. And I think what made it even worse is when I lost money, I held on to that loss. And what was driving me to continue trading was the money aspect of things. That's what was driving me. I remember I used to be in my room and I used to always tell my dad, like, I'm going to go clear and I'm going to make money and I'm going to, you know, be the richest guy. And I always chased money. And I remember when I lost my first £1,000 that I earned from the markets, I lost it in 15 minutes. And bro, when I tell you that was the most painful, till now, that was the most painful L I've taken. Not because of the money, but because of the fact of it was entirely my fault. I was greedy and I don't know why I did it. And I think that was the biggest wake-up call for me. After that moment, that shift, it was the biggest wake-up call because I had an ego. I, as a trader, had the biggest ego. And I realized that the market is always going to chew you up and throw you in the ground. Like, literally, it's going to do that. It was probably one of the worst feelings that I had, but I'm actually grateful that I had it because that's what turned my life around. Because the shift of mentality that I had was that I stopped looking at the monetary side of things as trading. Because I sat down with myself, I'm like, Moby, like, are you even a good trader? Like, are you a good trader? Are you the best trader in the world? Doesn't matter how much money you have. Are you good at trading? And I used to say to myself, like, nah, man, I'm not good at trading. Just because I made £500 on a trade or £50 on a trade doesn't make me a good trader. Because when I looked at my P&L, I'm seeing that, cool, I made a little bit of money, but I'm break even or I'm losing. And I'm like, but I'm making money, but I'm losing more. And that's when I had the wake up call. And that's when I started to realize that, okay, I need to change things up. So I'm going to explain to you what I changed. But before I explain to you what I changed, I want to also tell you one more thing that really gave me that big reality check. And that was that period when I went to university. If you guys probably heard the story many times, but I went to university and I stopped trading for 9 months. And during those 9 months, I had one of the biggest reality checks of my life. That time is very valuable and you can't waste time. And I think that's what really taught me a valuable lesson, that if you guys know the tortoise and the hare runs as fast as possible, gets to A to B as fast as possible. The tortoise goes very, very slow. And everyone thinks that the hare is going to win, but the hare doesn't win. What happens? The hare gets tired, goes for a nap because it thinks that the tortoise is going to take forever and it's got time. What happens? The tortoise overtakes and the tortoise continues and wins the race. And from my whole journey for those 2 years, I was the hare. I tried to speed run through trading. Didn't get any advice, didn't get any coaching, didn't get any mentorship. All I was doing was buying courses, buying signals, wasting my time. If I had a coach, I think I would have been able to succeed and sped run through that. But unfortunately, I didn't. So I had to now change the mentality and I had to become a hare. Now, what did the hare, I had to become the tortoise, right? But what did the tortoise do to win that race? Slow and steady. It went one step at a time. And that's what I had to do. So the first thing I had to fix was my mentality, my mindset, my psychology, okay? What drove me to trade? It wasn't money, it was freedom. It wasn't just freedom. It was to see my parents happy, to actually have a reason to live. I don't want to go too deep into that, but it was to have a purpose in life. We all as humans have or need a purpose. And that was my purpose, that I am a day trader. I am that person. I'm that guy. And then I had to ask myself, okay, how am I going to be a good trader? What is the right measurement to become a good trader? And most of you are probably thinking money. No, it's not money. The measurement or the measurement tool to see if you're a good trader is percentages. What's your percentage gain? What's your risk to reward? How many trades have you taken? Is that data? That's how we measure our success. That's when I had to change. So then I ended up making a journal. Now this journal, I told myself, I am not going to reset. I had this bad habit. I'll journal, and then after a few months, I won't journal. Then I journal, after a few months, I won't journal. And I used to go through that quite a lot. It was all right. Like I was making money, then I was losing a little bit, but I was making money. And my P&L was up. But the thing was, I wanted to be serious. I wanted to be the tortoise. Okay, I don't want to be the hare. I said to myself, okay, journal. Journal, journal, journal. Don't care what happens. Don't care if I lose. Don't care if I blow the account. I am going to journal. And I kept doing that. I have never seen this much progress in my life until I've made those two big changes. Now, there was many more changes. I don't think I will have time to speak about this on this video today, but I will make more videos. But if you would like me to explain everything to you, click the first link in the description and fill out the form, and me and you can have a one-on-one discussion, and I can explain to you the more steps that I took to become profitable. But those two things that I did, honestly, bro, it changed my life. What I did changed my trajectory of life. I don't think I would have been here if I didn't think like the tortoise. I think I would have still been the hare and I would have still been in the same position. But instead I took things slow. I saw all my friends continue university. I saw all my friends graduate. I saw all my friends get a job, and I'm still here learning. But I remember that I want to be the tortoise. I want to be the guy that wins at the end of the race. And that's what I did. And I locked in, and I remember locking myself in my room for like 6 months. And I didn't leave that room until I made significant amount of money. And I think at that period of time, I was at a very high 5-figure months. Now, how did that affect me? Well, now that I look back, I think I'm grateful for everything that I've done. I'm grateful for all the things that I've gone through. But one thing I would change is I wouldn't cut corners. And I have this saying, and I said it to my Discord community as well. I said, look guys, if you cut corners, those corners are gonna come and haunt you and cut you back. And that's how I look at things within your trading journey. Don't cut corners, guys. Don't go for indicators just because you're lazy and you can't be asked to draw breaker structures, or you can't be asked to draw time zones or sessions. Right? It takes 2 seconds to draw sessions, just draw lines. It's not hard. But building up that discipline, building up those habits and doing it yourself rather than letting other things happen will make you a better trader. Because then you can understand, how can I identify things? Can my eyes see what the indicators are showing me? So for me, it took me 2 years to understand this. But hopefully now you understand exactly how to become a better trader. Okay, hopefully you have. And if you haven't, comment down below what your issue is and I'm gonna try my best to help you. And if that doesn't help, click the first link in the description and sign up for the one-on-one coaching. I'm doing it completely for free for the next 3 days. So if you're interested, click the first link in the description. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share it to all your trader friends, or share it to your friends that are getting into trading, because this video genuinely, hopefully, will help you. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video.